Hey you guys, it's Britt coming to you live, and oh my goodness, I always go live with healing music on, and I forgot to put it on today. So I'm gonna put it on because I like to set that healing vibe for you guys. And I don't know about you guys, but I always have music on. I always have healing music on. Whenever I'm journaling, whenever I'm doing a session for someone, whenever I'm teaching a live training, I always put music on. So I'm gonna put that on, see if this one's good. So yeah, you can always just like go onto YouTube and play healing music, and all the songs are always like 8 hours long, so you never have to worry about finding a new song. You can just put on a song and there's always healing music. So say hello to me, you guys, when you pop on here, or if you're watching on the replay, you can comment #replay. What is up, you guys? Say hello to me. Let me know where you're tuning in from, how you're feeling today. Let's just have a chat, you guys. Hey, Beverly, what is up? Anyways, you guys, so today I got inspired. I've been really inspired lately. I'm doing all the lives because it just feels so good. Something that one of my amazing mentors, Katrina Ruth, always says is, well, she says a lot of things that are really powerful and amazing, but something that she says is that every day your job is to get what's inside of you out, right? That's your main job. And so for me, I like to talk and I always have lots to say, and all I ever think about is healing, right? And so I'm going to be on here doing more lives. I mean, maybe you guys have noticed I've done like lives every day. Like, well, when the time is aligned, right? I'm not going to force myself to do lives, but when there is stuff to say, I'm going to freaking say it. Hey, Katie, Pismo Beach, California. Beautiful. So, is it super hot there today? It's like really hot and beautiful out here today. I was just tanning outside for the last like hour and a bit, and then I was like, I gotta come inside. It's actually too hot. So I came inside, had a shower, and now I'm live for you guys, and I want to talk about awakening your inner healer. And say hello to me, you guys, when you pop on here. What is up? So this story is coming to me right now to share with you guys, okay? It's actually overcast. Oh, maybe it's actually better weather here up in Vancouver, Canada than it is in California, in your town right now. Wow. Could you believe that? So maybe my grandma is here with me right now in spirit, wanting to talk about this with me. So I don't know if I've shared this story with you guys before, but my grandmother who's recently passed away in August, she was always very open to healing work. And when I was a really young kid, probably about 10 or 12, I don't know the exact age, my grandmother had like severe pancreatic cancer. And the doctors told her, as they do, that, you know, she would have about a year to live afterwards, after the surgery or whatever that she had done, because, you know, you usually, when you have that, I guess it comes back and then it kills you. So my grandmother lived for probably about 15 more years after that, and that was a miracle. She was a miracle. Well, see, in my world, miracles are normal. Healing miracles are normal. As a healer, you just know that, right? But I remember my grandmother telling me this from such a young age, that when she was getting this surgery for pancreatic cancer, she just went like this with her hands, and she just imagined pushing it away, and she was bringing in light, and she was just pushing it away, pushing it out of her body, letting it go, letting the cancer go out of her body, like that. And she described that to me, and I was very young when I first heard that story. And then as I got into healing work myself, right, it definitely was something that stuck in my head about how my grandmother did that, and the cancer never came back. And so she was a miracle case. She ended up passing this last year, in 2020, just for other causes. I think it was heart failure or something, but it was like, I could tell like the last like year of her life, it was like more her time, right? But anyway, so she was a miracle case of healing. And this kind of thing as a healer gets to be the norm, right? It gets to be the norm. And then so a little bit about like my life. So as a child, I had all the things. I had asthma. I would get some type of like very severe lung infection, probably about once a month or once every 2 months. like bronchitis, pneumonia, like just really bad coughs that would last for weeks on end, and I wouldn't be able to sleep, and it would just be this whole thing. And I'd be on all the antibiotics, and so a lot of my childhood memories, I was very sick. I missed a lot of school. I never felt like I could really be the person that I wanted to be as a little kid, because I was just always being held back by these lung infections, these illnesses that would just come on out of nowhere. And then so I was also very emotional. I was very angry a lot of the time. My parents had divorced when I was 3, and so I was constantly going back and forth between them, and I had a lot of anger around that, and there was fighting and stuff like that. But I mean, my parents are amazing parents, not to say anything negative about them, but just my emotional state as a child was, I mean, don't get me wrong, there was very joyful moments, there's very amazing things that also happened in my childhood, but there was a lot of darkness, a lot of emotional trauma, a lot of spiritual trauma, really, I would say, because a lot of the time too, I feel like, now with the understanding that I have now, I was being harassed from dark forces as well. I would always see ghosts as a child, and I would always, in a sense, like be haunted by them too when I was trying to go to sleep, so I didn't really sleep very well. There was just a lot of stuff, right, in my childhood to do with health and to do with the spiritual side of things, right? So looking back then and looking to now, I have healed all those things. So I don't have any lung problems anymore. I don't get sick ever. I mean, like it's been a really, really long time. I mean, I got morning sickness when I was pregnant with Dougie, but like as far as like these sicknesses that I used to get all the time as a child, like I'm talking every single month basically, never. And I'm even like so far as to say, like when my hubby had a cough, I was coughing my mouth because I'm just like so sure that I won't get sick, and I didn't. And so the reason why I share this is, not to brag, but a little bit to brag, because here's the thing. I could have taken that on. I could have taken on those childhood illnesses and all that trauma and all that sadness and all that emotional stuff. And here's the other thing too. Hey, Rose. And here's the other thing too. The emotions that I felt as a child, I believe were a big part of all the sicknesses that I also experienced as a child. Because here's the thing. Your emotions will affect your health, okay? And so if you have a way to heal yourself and heal your emotional state, and and I'm not talking about bypassing either, I'm talking about having a way to process emotions in the quantum, having a way to truly give yourself what you emotionally need when you need it. If you have a way to do this, and you stay on top of it, right? You don't let a niggling emotional pattern go too far and create too big of an issue with you. You will live in health, you will live in wealth, you will live in joy, and your life gets to be abundantly blessed if you just do that inner healing work on yourself. And I truly believe that, because I'm an example of that. Like, the sadness that I used to feel and the depression, and then it turned into drug use in my teens, like all of that is so, that was like a whole nother lifetime to me now. Like the way that I feel now is like a totally different person, and nobody helped me except for my own self and my dedication to the healing work. And I mean, obviously I had teachers that I learned from when I went to school and did certain courses for Reiki, theta healing, hypnotherapy, all the things. I did have people help me, but ultimately it was like nobody outside of me could have gave me freedom from that except myself. Hey, Scott. So the reason why I'm sharing my story here with you guys is just to show you what's possible. And I mean, in my life, having that asthma and having, a sickness every single month, I mean, maybe that doesn't seem like such a big deal that now I'm never sick ever, but to me, it is a very big deal, because I wasn't able to live fully then. I was, if you don't have your health, you don't have anything to give to the world. You can't even focus on your spiritual gifts, because you're focusing on your physical body, right? And ultimately, I don't believe that's what God wants for us. I believe that God wants us to turn on our miracle healing powers. But here's the thing. When we are outsourcing our authority to these people, like i.e. the medical system, i.e. any teacher or mentor, or any treatment that's external to us, if we are doing that, we will always be disempowered, right? And so that's why I feel like this topic of activating your inner healer is ultimately the most important thing we could ever talk about, ever. because once you have that power to activate your inner healer, you become unstoppable, right? You gain this confidence that comes from activating your true multidimensional gifts. And I'm not saying, you know, every person in this world has miracle healing powers. Obviously, you know, we all have our own innate gifts, and some of them are going to include healing, and perhaps for some people, they're not going to include healing, right? But if you're watching this video, if you resonate with this, if you know, have always been drawn to the healing arts, you've always been drawn to energy work, you've always been drawn to spiritual teachings and God and whatnot, right? If you feel this is you, then this obviously is you, that you have untapped healing abilities. And here's the thing. It will come from going within, but also connecting with God in your soul. Like, so it's not just going within your own mind and trying to think about it. Hey, how do I heal myself? Like, that's not going to do anything. You have to go higher. You have to go to God, and God is the most powerful healer ultimately. And, you know, from there, you can really have miracle healing, like with my grandma, right? She was told she had a year to live. She lived about 15 years more. And that particular thing that was, you know, supposed to come back and kill her did not. And so that to me is an example of miracle healing, and also, you know, what I've done in my own life, you know, going from, like, I could have been dead, or I could have been a drug addict. A lot of the people that I hung out with in those darker days of my teens have died. And so to me, this work is literally life and death. Coming to your own inner healing power is literally, it can literally be life and death. And maybe, you know, it's not going to be life and death for you. Maybe you're not a drug addict, or maybe you don't have some deadly incurable disease. But if you have this healing power now, this is for everything, right? Like, I'm just giving you those extreme examples there because, like, this is the power of this work, right? And maybe as you activate your inner healer, you're going to be called to actually work with some people that have severe issues like that. And maybe that's you. Or, you know, maybe you're just going to use this because you're unfulfilled in your life, you're unfulfilled in your job, and you're going to basically heal the beliefs in your brain that are saying that you can't have a better life, or you can't have, you know, the career of your dreams, like living from your true healing gifts, right? So here's the thing too, you guys, that I want to mention about activating your inner healer, is that it's not as helpful, it's not as helpful as you could be if you have these innate healing gifts and you're not using them, right? And I mean, that's a fairly obvious point, but I feel like it needs to be said. So, you know, let's say you're drawn to healing work. Let's say that deep down at a cellular level, you know that you can help people have miracle healings, and you know that you can heal yourself of whatever comes up because you've done it, right? Like me, even if I do get, you know, any type of thing coming up, any emotion, any kind of physical thing, I know what to do. I know how to bring the energies in. I know how to heal it, right? So if you know this and you feel this is true at a deep level and you're not doing anything about it, you're not offering this to people, right? And I'm not saying offering it for free either, because nobody benefits when you give something away for free. There needs to be an energy exchange for people to really value your work, right? And then from that place, you know, creating a business outside of this matrix system will probably be the highest path, right? Because here's the thing, if we continue to work for, like, i.e., let's say the medical system, if we continue to work for these institutions and these systems that are corrupt and that are harming people and that are hurting people and that do not allow for any type of spiritual awareness, if we continue to support them, the new earth reality is not going to come about in the way that it should. So what I'm saying is forging your own personal path, although it may be scary, it may seem like, what are you doing? How do I do this? Like, oh my God, people are going to hate me, or whatever's going to come up. Even though that seems like the more difficult path, that may ultimately be, well, it will definitely ultimately be the most fulfilling, right? And, you know, I see a lot of people that are healers and they're not fully going for it. They're not fully offering their healing work, right? Like, I see all you people with certifications and, you know, all the things like me, like, this was me too. I didn't like just start immediately doing my healing work as a practice, even though I knew that I should have. I didn't start immediately because I had to get kind of my ass kicked around it and, you know, have a whole bunch of stuff come up first, right? But if you guys have me telling you this, you can do it a lot quicker. So I see people who, you know, have all these amazing healing gifts, and they're not doing anything about it, right? You're not trying to help people. You're not posting an offer. You're not, you know, telling people about how amazing you are. And here's the reason maybe why, is that there's a lack of integration between your physical body self, your physical, like here in the physical world self, and your spiritual soul, angelic self, right? Because us who identify as healers, we're the earth angels, we're the light workers, right? We're not, you know, 100% just the normal human, right? So there's a lack of integration between that physical body self who's here doing this matrix job and, you know, knows about healing stuff but doesn't quite feel her power yet, and this multidimensional angelic self that can literally do miracle healing work and is like made to create a huge ripple effect on the planet that's going to really help a lot of people. So do you get what I'm saying there? There's that disconnect. And so what I really intend to do with my work is help you guys integrate those two selves, right? This is literally where it comes from. This is literally the real work, is integrating that physical self with the spiritual self. Because here's the thing, in this world, in this planet, at this time, it's not doing as much good if you're unintegrated with the spiritual and the physical, right? Like, we need you here now, integrated, helping the people you're meant to help usher in the new earth realities that is really going to create these, you know, new systems where, you know, maybe when people are diagnosed with something that's incurable, they will then know that the most credible thing they could ever do is go to a healer, right? From that place where, you know, the systems fail and they basically say you have this long to live, like in the case of my grandma. And, you know, forging your own path and activating your own healing abilities, sweeping away, finding your own way to really do this work, that is ultimately for the highest good of humanity. Okay? Hey Tanya Lee, what is up, beautiful? So anyways, that was a good little rant. You just popped on at the end. I think that's pretty much what I wanted to say to you guys today. I wanted to activate, you know, your inner healer just with my words, and, you know, really get it into your brain that, like, this is important now. Like, this is what needs to be happening now. We need more healers. Because here's the thing, if God has his team, or I said it's because I actually do feel like God is like mother, father, right? It's not just like him or she, it's like it's all of it, right? So if God has the team of miracle healers that are here to really do this work, and we're all activated and we're all turned on and we're all living from our mission, do you see, like, can you see the vision in your mind that I'm seeing, how this is going to create literally a new earth? Like, that's what I'm talking about when I talk about the new earth, you guys. I'm talking about all the healers activated and turned on, shining brightly, boldly, speaking their truth loudly, right? See that ripple effect that's going to happen, right? Like, I even get chills when I see that. Like, that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing here. That's why it's important for you to speak up and share your gifts, and also integrate that multidimensional self with your physical self, right? So that you can really make the impact and difference in the world that you, as a soul, as an earth angelic soul, came to do. Tanya Lee says, yes, I see this, feeling it, healing it. Yes, cool. I'm so glad you hopped on there, girl. So anyways, you guys, that's the message for today. I have a program starting in a couple weeks, and it's called Angelic DNA, and we're going to be going a lot deeper into this, and we are going to be doing a lot of deep healing work and clearing out all the karmic stuff that you chose to take on as you birthed into this incarnation. So here's the thing, we take on ancestral karma, we take on, you know, family karma, we take on this stuff in our genetics, and, you know, the main goal of this program is we are going to be healing and clearing that karmic stuff and activating our true angelic DNA, okay? And then from that activated place, it becomes the most natural thing in the world to be loud and confident and proud about our soul gifts, right? So anyways, that's a little excerpt about this program. Early bird pricing is on until June 9th. Send me a message if you're curious. And I also have a membership option too, where you get access to all of my programs, including this one and past ones and future ones, and it's just amazing. And I also do one-on-one work as well. I do one-on-one healing sessions and coaching. So Tanya Tanya Lee says, I need to hear this. I'm so quiet, I need to speak more. Yes, okay, perfect. This message was for you. Ooh, that sounds awesome. So awesome. I've been doing the work, but I needed the assistance too. Exactly, yeah, and that's what I see. Like, there's so many powerful healers, and like, I see this because I guess I'm looking for it, right? But like, I see it a lot where I know like the power and the amazing healing ability of some people, and I know they're like really powerful, amazing healers, right? But they're not doing anything about it. They're sharing memes, right? And nothing wrong with sharing memes. I share memes too, like totally, like, no, it's cool. But if like you're just sharing memes, okay, what about the people that you are here to activate and heal? Like, what are you doing? It's almost selfish. It's selfish for you to just share memes and not have an offer, right? And not have some way for people to pay you, right? And receive that energy exchange, right? And, you know, it's easy to do that, and I feel like I've kind of gone through that in a certain way. Like, before I found like the business coaching world, I was like that too. I wasn't offering anything. I didn't know, right? But now I feel like I've done enough business coaching mixed with my spiritual healing abilities that I'm able to be loud about the healing work because I've done that part of it, right? But anyways, that was just my path. That's me, called me up. Oh my God, that's so funny. I wasn't even thinking of you, Tanya Lee. Like, I haven't even seen if you shared memes or not. That was just how it came to me. And anyways, it's all love, girl. Anyways, you guys, message me about Angelic DNA or the membership or my sessions. I am here for you. I love you. This is my soul work in the world. And so I'm here to support you. Just stepping into the business coaching so I can make something amazing. Yeah, and you know, it can really help us too, as spiritual healers, to really get grounded in that side of things. But it's not, I don't think it's like necessary for everybody, but it can definitely help. Hey babe. Okay, I gotta go. My love is here. My love is home. I'm gonna go say hi to him. Okay, love you guys so much. And remember, you came for the joy of living. Bye.